Hi again, welcome to another video, and in this video I've actually had the engine vapor blasted now. So the scooter engine is all looks lovely now, it looks great. I'll show you some stills in a minute of before and afterwards, and yeah, I'm well pleased with the finish, so that's good. So I've got a lovely clean engine casing and that to fit everything back into just how I wanted it. So yeah, that's all done, and in this video I'm going to be fitting the bearings and the seals back in for the crank and all that end of the engine. And then going forward after that, in next video, it will be the crank, fitting the crank in and then fitting the pot and piston on. But in this video, it'll just be putting the bearings in and getting it ready for the crank. So then, yeah, I'll be well on my way. So if this is the first time you've watched my channel, please sub and like. Be much appreciated. Helps my channel grow, and I can just continue to build the channel, and hopefully it gets bigger and bigger. And yeah, we might as well get into this video. So yeah, I can start rebuilding this engine now. It's nice to start to rebuild it. You know, the rest has just been the dismantling part, but now getting everything back in a nice clean case and everything clean or new, and yeah, it'll be nice. So yeah, we'll get on with it now. So now I'm going to get the new bearing and seals in this mag housing. So what I'm going to do is heat this up around there with this little heat torch, heat gun. And in the freezer at the moment is the bearing. So this will take a bit of heat in this wheel. So I'll make a start and then we'll probably do it off camera, and then I'll bring you back in when it's hot enough. Change of plan, I've decided to use the heat gun because the other one just wasn't really working. Now I want to try and get the seal in quite quickly without burning myself. Not the easiest of tasks. That's hot. So I'm going to use that little washer there, a washer thing, I think it's of a strimmer. And then I've actually got this. How much that's done it. It's pretty good. Just try and push that in just a little bit more. Sorry if the camera shakes a bit, but I'm just going to give this a little bit of a bash. Still not sure that's in fully. I might
bearing gifts.
You'll have to hang on for a moment. I have to just give it a bit of a hammer, I think. That did sound quite good then. Still think I could possibly just go in a little bit more, but I don't think it's far off, and it's still pretty hot, so I might still get away with dropping the bearing in. Probably have to tap it in a little bit. Apologise again if you shake. Now we have to put this in that way around, like there. That fits in there perfectly. That is pretty warm still, not as warm as I'd have liked it. Now here's a bearing. There's a little ring bit there that goes downwards, and I don't think we've got a hope of getting that in. started, but yeah, not fully in, so I'm gonna have to tap that in. So my hot and cold method sort of failed a little bit because I thought there was a crack in this, and I don't actually think there was. I think it was just casting marks. So now it's cooled down, that has warmed up, so it's back to my usual way. I'll tap it in like this. What I've done is got that little bit there and got that bit there, so we'll just go for it. Gonna make some noise, but you won't shake around because it's being held this time. It's gone in totally wonky. Getting it back a bit. This is probably not how to do it, but all I can do is try with what I've got. Got it back to square now though, all round. Might be better with that middle bit now in it. What I've done with that, I've just put tape around it like that. This is by no means the best way, but it's working. I've got it in now that far, so I'm doing okay. I have got to watch out that it doesn't bottom out. That bit goes through the seal, but big hammer. We are getting there. And that does fit all right in there. A bit concerned about that bit there, but what will be will be. Got to make sure that bit's staying in place. Below it, and it is. We've still got a little bit to go yet. Might be there now. I think we're about there, I think. So now I'm going to attempt to fit the big crank bearing in there. I'm going to try the heat up and cool down method. The bearing has actually been in the freezer quite a long time, so that should be pretty cold now. I'm going to send it over to get that in a minute when I've heated this up a bit. So I'm going to just give this a bit of a warm up and see where we go, really. Actually melting my bench at the moment. I'm not hopeful, but let's try it. No, I've had to resort to doing it this way. It just doesn't heat up and go in like they say it, well, like some say it should. Problem is when you start
doing it like this, everything else going off the bench. But it's going in, but I think it's more in one side than the other. Going exactly how I wanted to do it, but sort of needs must. I haven't really got much choice. I've got to get it in there, and I haven't got a press here, so. But I am seriously struggling. It's got a fair way to go yet. Still think it's over in a bit one side more than the other. I think I did pretty well there. Is it in fully though? That's the thing. Not sure whether that film I'm using is not going to actually let me bang it in fully. Well, you've seen how I've got it in. I'm just going to check everything's good and then I'll be back with you. I did have to bang it in a little bit more than you saw. I just managed to find a washer to get in there and I got it in where I'm positive it should be. Yeah, as I said, ideally on this I didn't want to bash them in with a big hammer, but sort of needs must. So they're in, they're okay, and I can move on with this engine build now. So I just want to fit the seal on the mag housing now. That ring goes back in. Put that in like so, and then this seal goes in with a spring. You can just see it there. The spring coming this way because you have the spring side, the pressure side. So this is the side that goes towards the crank. So you have it like that, not like that. So it goes that way, and then hopefully I can push this one in. Try. It's gone in there a little bit on the wonk there. And then there is a big clip as well that goes in. I've almost got it in. I need to get it in far enough to get the big clip in, which I found the big clip there. Thought it fell behind the bench. There, we've got that big clip to go in. So I don't know whether I can push that all the way in with my hands. So I need to find where the groove is. I might have to get a washer to finish that off. I've got that seal in enough now. You can see the groove just in there. I just use that washer in there to push it down with my thumb. I didn't have to tap it or anything. So all we have to do now is fit that big old clip in there. So I'll get the tool for that and then get that in. So I'm going to try and get this clip in now. If I can close it enough, it should go in fairly easy, which I believe it has. What I like to do is just sort of close again just to check it sort of has fitted in, and that has fitted in pretty well. So all I have to do with that now, just put it up at the angle, is when it goes on, it has that insert bit go in there. I'll just find that. Yeah, that insert bit there goes on the crank, and then that just fits through there. But I will pack it with grease first, all in there. Just pack it with grease. I've got some grease coming, and yeah, all should be good. So then I can get the crank sort of back together, or the crank side of things will all be done anyway. Whether I put it back together now or after I've done the gearbox side, I don't know. But at least it's all sort of fitted with all the new parts. And this is actually where the problem why it wasn't starting arose from, because this was all so black. The seals must have blown, or a seal blown. Probably the other side one. Yeah, I think the drive side seal was the one that failed and it dragged in the gear oil. Yeah, that was why it didn't start. So hopefully when I've done all this, it should be spot on. So I'm actually back working on the scooter after quite a few weeks. I haven't done nothing on this engine for, yeah, quite a few weeks. So I need to get on with it. I have ordered some Loctite, which I needed, and a few other little bits and pieces. A washer under there. I'll just take that out. whole piece. I think last time I finished, I just got to the stage of putting the bearing in. Well, since then I've got this plate, if you want to call it, I can't think of the proper name of it, but it's like a plate that fits in there, and I've pushed the oil seal in. It has to go that way. The spring part comes inwards of the crank, so it's like that. That's how it fits in. So I'll just put that to the side. You can see that washer there. Where is it? I don't want to drop that. There, that washer. Well, actually, it's like a gasket type washer that fits in there, just on top of where the bearing goes. So make sure that's all in place. Then I'll put that plate I just showed you back in. Make sure it's the right way. Yep, it goes like that. I know that's the right way because it's got the indentation bits, like the countersink bits for the little bolts. So if I get that in place in there, just make sure that gasket is still right, and I'll drop that in place there, so they're lined up. I've got new bolts. The old ones were like flat head screwdriver type bolts. These ones are Allen key. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of Loctite on them and get these four in, and they have a torque setting. Yeah, so the book I looked in, which I was kindly bought by the lawnmower lady, says the torque settings for them is 3.6 pound-foot. This doesn't do that, my torque wrench, but it does Newton meters, and I went online and I converted it, and it's roughly about 5 Newton meters. 5 Newton meters is a little bit higher, but only very, very slightly. So I'm not bothered doing it slightly tighter. I prefer to go slightly tighter than not tight enough. So yeah, I'll just get a bit organised with the right tools and everything, and then we'll get this plate in. That'll be that done, and then it's going to be the crank to fit in after that. And I've had to buy a brand new crank as well because the old one had wear on it, so I've had to buy a brand new crank as well since I started this video. But yeah, it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good when it's back together. It's all going to be like new parts and everything, so it should be spot on. Just going to drop them all in one by one. One, two, 3, and that's 4. So the Loctite is all on them. I'll get them screwed in by hand. Put the lid on the Loctite, I don't want to be losing that. So I'm just gonna gently screw them in, just hand tight at the moment. Sorry if my hands are in the way a bit. I decided to buy the new plate just in case the old one was warped or something, as I'm going to try and do as good a job as I possibly can on this engine. I'd like it to be right as I can get it. I think I might have gone a bit tighter than I needed to there, but oh well. It'll be tight. Sure that torque wrench is working properly. I'm sure it should be going off sooner than that. Seems quite tight to be doing them up. But it's set right. Oh well, they're going to be tight. Whether I ever get out or not, if I ever need to, might be another thing altogether. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. Well, that's going to have to be how it is. I'm not sure that torque wrench is working properly. But they're tight and they've got Loctite on. So they should be okay.